Back when I had a full-time job, oftentimes I would have these kind of big meetings with the company where we'd get together and come up with our priorities for the coming months. Oftentimes that revolved around a quarter. But as a solo full-time game developer by myself, like I got my cats here. There's Martin and Carl up there, so the gang's all here. We can have our quarterly meeting, even though it's the beginning of July, which I guess actually that's perfect. This is the beginning of a new quarter. No. July is not the beginning because that's June. So a mid-quarter update, if you will, looking at the future of Aarimous Studios here and seeing where I'll go. And it's going to be pretty exciting coming months. So I kind of wrote down a list here, nothing in specific orders, but one of the big things I'm working on right now is going to be the Hexagod Early Access Build 7. That looks like there's a post I just put over on Steam to kind of let players know what my plans are, where my brain is at. The thing I want you to know that I think is interesting is that my philosophy of game development is directly inspired from Grinding Gear Games. They take big risks with Path of Exile, and they make big changes, and they learn along the way to try to make the best game possible. That's what I've been doing with Hexagod. It's definitely made some players mad. I've gotten some negative reviews from it. I myself have learned a lot. I think my mental health struggles have definitely resulted in the lack of confidence in any decision. And so some of these builds and some of the reworks have been me spinning my tires a bit. I wish I would have been somebody who can have a clear vision, and I wish I could be that sort of developer, but that's just not the case or the reality of the last couple months, and so there's been a lot of learning along the way. So what Build 7 actually is going to look like is taking a step back, seeing what worked across those different builds, trying to find the ones that work together nicely, and bring back some of the things like the tech tree that a lot of players have been asking to come back, and put them in a package that I think I can deliver by the end of the year, or I actually don't have a delivery date for when the game will be fully out of early access. So that's a really big chunk of my time and priority, is kind of getting this game wrapped up, or at least in a state where I'm excited about where we are and can finally start adding more content to the game, which I'm excited about. The other big thing that you've heard me kind of tease about with tweets, or not tweets, whatever you call Blue Sky posts and things on Discord and maybe some streams you've seen over on Twitch, is game number 3. And that is a game about a black hole. There is a Steam page out there with limited information and understanding. I will make a whole post about kind of a game about a black hole when I get the demo ready. But my general goal with this is to track how many hours I've put into the project so that when it goes live, I can have some sort of metric to see me as a studio, as a solo developer. If I put in 100 hours, can I make a game that makes $1,000 or $2,000 to see kind of that what my hourly rate would be with game development at this point. This game's fun. It's exciting. It's a fun little incremental game, and I'm excited to make it and get it in your hands so we can start kind of fine tuning the progression curve of an incremental game, because I already know that's going to be a big struggle with this game. The next really big, exciting thing happening later this month, is the GMTK 2025 Game Jam. If you have not already joined one of these are my favorite game jams of the year. Mark Brown from GMTK is somebody who has taught me a lot about game development, but also his game jams are awesome because he handpicks the themes. I think crowdsourced game jam themes are absolutely dog shit. I hate them. I find they're always generic and dumb and uninteresting, and I've quit game jams before because I thought that the theme was bad. So this will be a fun one. I'll be streaming all of that over on Twitch, which will be fun. It is like a 3 or 4 day game jam, so I don't have to go super hard, but maybe I'll be in the mood to go really hard and maybe start prototyping game 4, or just having fun creating something for the sake of creation and learning during that weekend. So that'll be happening in July. Again, all streamed over live on Twitch, so probably good 30 to 40 hours of streaming, which should be super, super fun. After that, I do game dev coaching, so if you're interested in getting help or chatting with somebody I myself, I don't know any other game developers in my immediate life. And so sometimes it's like I can talk to my friends and they can give me feedback and thoughts, but there's just that lack of empathy. So if you want to chat with me, it's $50 an hour. So far, everybody has found value from it that I've worked with. I've kind of done like 40-ish of these sessions across the board, and they're a really good time. Just an offering if you're interested in doing it. It is a priority for me to set those up, and I've so far had a great time doing them, and I think people have gotten a lot out of them. So it's an option. Just want to throw that out there. The other interesting thing about my financial outlook is I've started getting some sponsorships that make more sense for the channel. You've probably seen that most recently. There's a sponsorship with Zola. Where's my YouTube channel here? In this video about my review for a 5-year Godot video with it's like a 90-second insert ad in there. I think the big thing that's happened is my channel has gotten big enough where the amount of money I get for a sponsorship starts to make a little bit more sense for keeping the lights on and the studio on. So if you see sponsorships, that's where they're coming from, and know that they're a huge help and a huge support for keeping these lights on as I am developing Hexagod in game number 3. And I just want to be open as much as possible with you about the process of getting those sponsorships and working through them. The final thing is going to be doing Scope Creeper podcasts. I'm probably going to try to do a Scope Creeper podcast once every other week or so. These are posted over on a secondary channel. There'll be a link below, as well as over on Spotify, and you can see them. So most recently, I talked to a developer who got 100,000 wish lists. No, 100,000 wish lists over on Steam. I talked to 2 Nerdy Nerds. I talked to Thomas a bunch. And so I'm trying to use this as a way of expanding my network of people that I know and talk to and try to learn from other great developers in the industry. I have a couple lined up in the future and a big backlog of people I want to reach out to. So you can expect a Scope Creepers podcast about once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that, depending on how busy I am with sponsor videos and game dev coaching and all these different things. So this is my slate. 6 things is great. It's on brand for Hexagod. This maybe feels a little big for me. Like if I wanted to put game 4 in here, all of a sudden I think this list becomes too big. I think I get 2 game projects at once. And then kind of can just look on the horizon. One of the only consistent things I've ever had is that things constantly change on this channel, especially with my mental health that I'm dealing with on the side. All of this is subject to change. All of this is subject to be pivoted and moved, and I can do that because I'm a solo studio, and I really love that flexibility. This is what's next for me. I don't know. I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out. All the kind comments on the previous video really did mean a lot to me. I appreciate that strangers on the internet can reach out and be kind. It's truly helpful. So thank you. I've been Aarimous. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.